The 2020 NFL Draft is less than 24 hours away, and with that, it is time for my final NFL mock draft. Now, I'm not actively doing trades in this one, although you will see some potential deals and some targets here, because I am trying to match the player with the team that picks them in round one. That is my number one goal. My number two goal is to get as many of the 32 first-round players in this mock draft. Now, I do expect chaos, maybe not in the top two or top three, but after that, with an unusual NFL draft, I think there could be some absolute chaos that might make the normally not that inaccurate or accurate mock drafts anyway look even more silly. So let's begin with number one overall. Stop trying to make anything but Joe Burrow happen, people. It's going to be the pick at number one. There is absolutely no drama. He is the pick for the Bengals. At number two, I'm going to stick with Chase Young. There's been some more trade rumors as of late. I don't know if it actually happens, but I still think Young ends up being the pick here at number two. I bet a pretty decent amount the Redskins stand pat at the second pick. At number three, as the rumors have very much picked up of the Dolphins trying to get to number three, more on them in a little bit. I won't have a trade. I think the Lions will take Jeffrey Okudah if they don't move down. If they do move down, or if they move down significantly, you could have some major changes here early on. Number four for me is where the draft intrigue could really begin, because I don't know which route the Giants will go. I think they'll go offensive line, and I think they take one of Jedrick Wills or Tristan Wirfs. I'd still so there's a chance of Andrew Thomas or Isaiah Simmons, but I'm down to Wirfs and Wills, and I think for what the Giants are looking for, a right tackle right now, a guy who can maybe move over to left tackle if needed down the road, I think that's Tristan Wirfs better than any other prospect out there this year. The Giants are the intriguing spot to me if there's a quote-unquote chalky first three picks of Burrow, Young, and Okudah. So with that in mind, I want to hear from you guys. Predict who you think the Giants will draft at number four. Well, not who they should draft, but who they will draft at the number four spot. Let's get to number five, and quick reminder before you all freak out, I am not including trades. Keep that in mind for the Miami Dolphins, so Dolphins fans keep watching for the rest of your picks. The hot rumor today was that the Dolphins are trying to get to number three to take an offensive lineman. They really want somebody. I think that's either Jedrick Wills or it's Andrew Thomas. If you're trying to jump the Giants, that might indicate Jedrick Wills to me, so I'll put him at number five. I do think the Dolphins make some type of move up in the NFL draft. It might not be from number five, but it might be from number 18 instead. So I think the Dolphins will get an offensive lineman in round one. I think they'll get a quarterback too, so just keep watching. At number six, I'll go Justin Herbert to the LA Chargers. I think he could go five to the Dolphins, I really do. But I think there's a better chance that Herbert goes number six overall to the Chargers, regardless of where Tua ends up going. And we'll get to him, I promise, as well. So I'll stick with Herbert at six overall. The Chargers, though, they do a great job of not letting anything leak out. Carolina, they're next up here at number seven. This came down to two options for me. Assuming Okudah's off the board, if he's not, I think he's the pick. I think this is either Derek Brown or Isaiah Simmons with a dark horse sleeper of Javon Kinlaw. I think Brown fits a little bit more of what Marty Herney might like, the GM. But if Matt Rule gets his way, I think Simmons ends up being the pick here at number seven. And I don't think he gets past number eight either, the Arizona Cardinals. I've got them taking Derek Brown. I went back and forth on flip-flopping these two. I think the Cardinals would love Isaiah Simmons. I think he goes off the board one pick before them. But I think Simmons and Derek Brown at 7 and 8. I wouldn't be surprised if those are the two picks. The order, though, still very unclear. Of course, we'll find out during the NFL draft. We will be live for all 7 rounds of the 2020 NFL draft. We'll break down every single pick that happens. We're not going to cut away on day 3 to talk about random day 1 guys that you've already met or random coaching interviews. No, we'll break down every player who gets selected in the NFL draft. So if you want to join us, hit that big red button and subscribe. Number 9, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm kind of hedging my bet here because I think they end up with Kinlaw. I'm just not quite sure if it's at 9, or maybe they trade down, or maybe they pick him at number 20 overall instead. If Derek Brown is on the board, I think he might be the pick. Oh, by the way, this is also trade up area for a team like the Falcons to get somebody, maybe like a CJ Henderson. Now, again, I'm not doing trades, but I do not anticipate the Cleveland Browns staying at number 10 overall. I will shoot my shot early, as bold as this is, and say the Cleveland Browns will trade down for number 10 overall. Maybe that's 16 or 15, even further down into the 20s, maybe 21 with the Eagles. And they will take an offensive tackle, but it's Ezra Cleveland. And this has been a popular rumor that I've heard quite a bit for a couple weeks now at this point. It is different. It is bold. It might make me look really stupid, but I'll shoot my shot because shooters shoot at the Browns trade down, get Ezra Cleveland. The Jets could be a sneaky move-up team. I like Andrew Thomas as fit for them at number 11 if they're able to grab him. I don't know what kind of trading chaos you could see, but the Browns could move down from 10. They could take Andrew Thomas if they stand pat. I think the Giants would like to get an offensive lineman, though. At number 12, CeeDee Lamb to the Las Vegas Raiders. I think they'll go receiver at number 12. Maybe if CJ Henderson's on the board, they'll consider that one instead. But I think the Raiders will grab their wide receiver of the future, their number 1 receiver of the future, at number 12 overall. But there are 3 players who do make some sense for the Raiders, because there are 3 great receiver prospects. Jerry Jeudy, we'll talk more about his alleged knee injury in a minute, CeeDee Lamb, and then Henry Ruggs. So who would you pick if you were in charge of an NFL draft and you wanted to take the best receiver? Who would it be? Is it Jerry Jeudy? Is it CeeDee Lamb? Is it Henry Ruggs? Type J, L, or R, and let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Number 13, Henry Ruggs. If Kinlaw or Derek Brown are there, I think that might be a path that they end up going. Instead, I'll give them Henry Ruggs at 13, a vertical deep threat, giving them some added speed. I think he'll be a good NFL player. Number 14, Mekhi Becton, I think has maybe the widest range of any of the tackles, of the big 4 tackles this year. I don't see him getting out of the top 15. Maybe he goes for the Giants. I don't think so. I'll put him to the Bucs, though, at 14 to help protect Tom Brady. Number 15, Jerry Jeudy, who I think Denver could try to trade up together, go get one of those wide receivers instead. There are whispers and reports and rumors out there that his knee's a concern. He had a meniscus surgery before 2018 and then had his 2 best years after it. I'm going to go ahead and say it's okay, and maybe a team, Philadelphia, is trying to get him to fall just a little bit further. Remember, I did not do trades in this mock draft. That's how Henderson fell to 16. I do think, though, that Atlanta gets aggressive. I don't know to which pick. That's why I didn't do the trades here. Maybe it's 8, maybe it's 9, maybe it's 10, maybe it's somewhere in that range that the Falcons move up and they get their corner. I think they'll get a couple players. Javon Kinlaw could be a fallback option. I think Derek Brown and or Henderson, though, would be their ideal targets. So let me know. Do you think the Atlanta Falcons will trade up in the NFL draft? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Number 17 overall, Burrow and Chase Young goes to the Dallas Cowboys. I think he gets to 17. If he doesn't, watch out for these 3 names. A.J. Terrell from Clemson, he'll come up in a minute, Trevon Diggs from Alabama, and Xavier McKinney, the safety. Do not fret, Dolphins fans. I still got you guys, Tua. I went back and forth on which one to put at 5, which one to put at 18, because I think there's a good chance Miami gets aggressive and tries to move to get an offensive lineman. I saw a rumor out there that they wanted to keep 5 and get 3, which would be pretty outlandish. You have to move 18 and 26, and the second you have this year, and probably an extra piece as well. I think Tua is the ultimate wild card in this year's draft, in the sense that I wouldn't be surprised if he went 5, and I think that still might be one of the more likely outcomes. But if the Dolphins and Chargers pass on him, I don't know where the slide ends. I really don't. So we'll see what Miami does, but I think they are in position to be aggressive and acquire some premium talent in this year's draft. Number 19, A.J. Terrell to the Las Vegas Raiders. I've heard growing buzz about him. As of late, I think he sneaks into round 1. And I think he could be a guy that Mike Mayock, who loved Trayvon Mullen, takes at number 19, if, of course, they don't trade down. Trevon Diggs goes number 20 to the Jacksonville Jags. I don't know where he goes. I think if he goes in round 1, it could be as early as 17, although I think the Cowboys would take Terrell if they had to. And then maybe as low as 31. He fits what the Niners like. But I'll put him here to Jacksonville at number 20 overall. But the cornerback class beyond the top 2 guys, Akuta Henderson, the order is going to be different for every single team out there. That could lead to some very surprising picks. Now we're going to get to Philadelphia here in just a second, but Eagles fans and, of course, fans of the rest of the NFL out there, go get your NFL team's draft hat at chatsports.com/NFL draft hat. That is chatsports.com/NFL draft hat. These are actually good this year. Hopefully my mock draft also ends up being pretty darn good this year. Historically, I've done pretty well. We'll see how things go this season. But you can get them right now. They are available. The snapbacks, the flat bills, the more rounded brims, the adjustable, the fitted backs as well. All available at chatsports.com/NFL draft hat. I'll put that link in the comments and the description. Number 21 overall, Justin Jefferson to the Eagles. Look, you guys don't need me to tell you about these players. You know who they are. Let's focus on other options here, Philadelphia. I think a trade up could be a real possibility. If they can't trade up and they don't want Jefferson, trade down could also be in the cards. Number 22, Jalen Reagor out of TCU goes to Minnesota. I think you got a couple areas that they could look at here. Maybe offensive line, but I think receiver, corner, edge are all the areas Minnesota will likely end up targeting. The Patriots at 23, full disclosure, I have zero clue what this team is going to do. I could see him trading down. I could see him trading up. I could see him going Jordan Love quarterback. They could go a number of directions. If they stick and stay defense, Zach Bond is the perfect Kyle Van Noy replacement for this team. Like, that's a good comp for him. So at 23, I like that pick. 24, Kenneth Murray to the Saints. I think his sweet spot might be that 19-20 range of the Raiders or Jags, down to, at worst, I think that 28 range with the Ravens, but I think he goes in round 1 inside the top 25 here. The Vikings at number 25, Christian Fulton. Now, he typically fits what they like, but I don't know if the NFL is as high on him as I am, and I think several of you guys as well. 25 overall. I got him here to the Vikings. This one, we'll see where he actually ends up going. 26, Cesar Ruiz to the Miami Dolphins. I'll also make a quick note here. He fits what Miami needs. If there is that bonkers trade between the Dolphins and Lions, and the Lions end up with number 26 overall, they could still take Ruiz. I think that'd be a really good fit for them. Number 27, the Seattle Seahawks. Full disclosure, I bet they trade this pick. That is the historical track record of that organization. If they stand pat, maybe they go defense. Offensive line, though, still an area of need. Why not Josh Jones, 27, who I do think goes in round 1. Number 28, I like this fit here. Patrick Queen to the Baltimore Ravens. That fits what they like, what they want to do. I think the Ravens would love to get Kenneth Murray, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to actually get him without a trade up. Number 29, Isaiah Wilson to the Tennessee Titans. I know this might be a surprise because they did pay Dennis Kelly, but I think Wilson sneaks into the back end of round 1. And when I was told that could happen, my first thought went to, Tennessee. He fits what they want to do on offense. I think Seattle could also make sense for Isaiah Wilson. In the end, I took him just over your Turgos Matos, who, spoiler, I did not actually find a spot for in round 1. I think there's a good chance he sneaks in. Number 30, Denzel Mims to the Green Bay Packers. I like him. I like that fit in Green Bay. I think receiver, linebacker, maybe even a surprise offensive line pick could be the path that the Green Bay Packers try to pursue. 31, the 49ers, another prime trade down destination candidate spot, whatever word you want to use there. The corners on the board don't really fit quite what they want to do. I'll give them McKinney. Tart was allegedly on the trade box, so they could trade him, but he's only got 1 year left anyway. In the end, the Niners take the best player left on their board. And then finally, the Chiefs at number 32 overall. I was torn between Gladney and Johnson. I didn't love the linebackers left. I don't think your Turgos Matos is quite the path that they'd end up going. So in the end, with the cornerback, Jalen Johnson, who I've also heard buzz around to being a potential top 25 pick as well. A very notable player that I did not include was Jordan Love, because I didn't have trades for him, hint, hint. So will he go in round 1? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. I really wanted to find a spot for him, but when I didn't have the Patriots take him, I didn't know where he slotted in. So if you think the answer is yes, let me know which team you think takes him. My final mock draft then, or in terms of the teams without a second round or without a first round pick that have a round 2 pick, there's Jordan Love to the Colts. I could see him trading up for him. Maybe they try and get aggressive and wait. Houston, I have no idea what they're going to do. I gave them the best interior offensive lineman, Robert Hunt out of Louisiana. The Bears get a corner, Noah Igbinoghene. The Steelers get Lloyd Cushenberry, who can play guard right now, and then possibly move to center once Pouncey calls it a career. I got the Rams at edge rusher and Julian Okwara. I like him. And then the Bills end up getting T. Higgins, who earlier on in this process, they were mocked in round 1. He might end up falling to them at the end of round 2. But folks, that is my final 2020 NFL mock draft. Feel free to criticize me in the comments section.